Welcome to Pocket Size Play. We're a tabletop role-playing games podcast about short, compelling actual play. I'm Tim.
I'm Tor.
I'm Timothy.
And I'm Saffire.
Awesome. So we are continuing our Beyond the Wall campaign. Let's just quickly catch up, listeners, and get playing. So just south of the village of Norfer is this dense forest where we find our protagonists. There is Sam, the no-nonsense woodsman and tanner. There's Ellie, the whimsical witch's prentice and herbalist. And Joslynn, the brilliant self-taught mage and innkeeper's daughter. This is a story about village heroes, about small stories, about the fantastic. So, here's where we're at. With Joz's help, Sam trapped a horned cat bear in this ravine that is right in front of you, where it's clawing at that edge with some incomprehensible emotion in its mirrored eyes. Ku, the riding lizard that it had previously cornered, it's jumped the ravine and it is bounded right toward your hiding place, Joz, and it's like about to knock you over. It's looking for cover. Ellie, from the tree where you're at, you spot some amber-colored gingold growing in the ravine. That's that herb that you were looking for. And that crystal you're carrying, it's shining mighty bright. I don't really know why it's doing that.
I'm standing over it with my axe as it's crawling at the edge, being pulled down by the rope. And I'm kind of thinking... I'm actually feeling very torn at this moment. I lift my axe high and pull it down with all the force I can get. Okay, so that's a 10.
How do you not knock it off its balance in the way that you intended?
I just lodge it into it, and it's got a really thick skull.
And the blade spins ever so slightly on the handle. You see the claw marks of where it's been clawing at that, and it brings out one claw even further out than before, like it's pulling its weight up.
I can see that Sam's in a difficult situation.
Oh, he's about to be eaten, yeah.
I want to use Entanglement spell to help him out. I'm hesitant to use magic because without provocation or danger to myself, it's kind of something I've been told is not a good thing to do by my grandmother. So roll d20. So a big fail. Oh, I really want it to go awry.
What look like kind of delicate tendrils, like pea sprouts, coming up from the ground, big green leaves to follow, big white flowers on them following that. But the vines get thicker and thicker as they come out of the ground and wrap around Sam's ankles.
I saw the axe come up, and I'm stunned. But I've got this feathered lizard to deal with, right? It's coming bearing down on me. I've seen people ride these things. I'm going to try to do this swinging thing where I just grab its neck and kind of throw my body on its back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I roll a 12.
Ku and Jaws are going to bonk heads, and that's a very loud thunk.
I've got a piece of rope. I'm going to try to harness this thing, I guess.
Roll that ability score.
Okay.
There we go. So the Jackal, that mercenary back in town, the one that you call Paps, I mean, he's probably taught you some knots and the smartest knots to use for the right situation. So its feet are bound up in that rope. It's still running, but it's attached to the rope and you're at the other end of it and it might not get too far. Are you going to just be holding on to that rope, Joz?
Yes, that's right.
Cool. There's a noise, and you see a shaft sticking out the back of the cat bear's neck, and you see a group of what look to be maybe soldiers, 3 of them on the other side of the ravine. and what looks to be maybe the leader. She is tall and strong and has jet black hair, straight, kind of long around the ears, but otherwise cut short in the back. And she's holding another throwing spear. And it was thrown with enough force that it is embedded through the neck into the edge of the ravine, and that cat bear is dead. Ha 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 ha! Ho, villagers! Safety has come.
I make a little meow sound at her.
I can't really say much for a moment, but I'm clenching my fists.
The three of them walk quickly, so they make their way to the ravine. There's the woman that was talking, and then there's two younger men following her, probably just boys, actually, like 13 or 14, maybe recently conscripted. And they're wearing oiled leather. And she, the one who was speaking, also has this red glove, like a dyed leather red glove that goes all the way to the elbow. She gracefully jumps over the ravine. Bit of a foolish spot you two got in there, huh?
I give her a brief nod, a little bit of mistrust but admiration in my eye, and I circle around and jump onto the back of the cat bear and lean over and pull that jingle off the side of the ravine.
So, I'm assuming I would know, given my knowledge of politics, where are these soldiers from?
So let's do that as a perception check then.
18 doesn't work.
She's looking to Sam as if he's the person leading this. I mean, looks authoritative, what with his broken axe on the ground. And then looks over and hears the squawking coming from that lizard and you wrestling with the rope. And she strides over and she grabs at that rope, then looks back at the lizard and says, "Go, go, go, go." And it just stops. And then she swiftly turns on the heel and walks in that other direction back towards Sam. She walks up to you, Sam. "Oh, we've been lost in this damned dreary forest for 2 days now, making our way up to that village up north, Norfur. Could you help us point in the direction of where we might find that, woodsman? The damned forest spirits are playing tricks every what way." And she looks back at the two boys there, and one of them has a jar you didn't notice kind of on his back. And there's something in there glowing, and you might recognize it as a forest spirit, and it's like they've captured one.
I wonder why the forest spirits are playing tricks on you. It's not like you've caught one and put it in a jar.
They play their tricks like a show of power, and I say, "I'll catch one of your own and put you in this jar," as if to say, "Mess with us, and you'll go in there too."
They don't perceive power the same way.
I step up and I point to where we came from. Norfur is up there.
Do you want to do a charisma reaction check, and we'll just get a sense of what she thinks of you?
Sure, I guess. I rolled equal to.
I appreciate that. Turns around, holds out a hand to those other two boys, and helps them across the ravine. "You seem to have your hands full with the lizard, now that it's in control. We shall perhaps meet again."
I just take my staff and I just swing it at that jar on its back.
Yes! This is why I love you so much.
Do a strength ability score check with that -2 for a hard task. There we go.
Oh, yes!
Yes.
3.
You hit it square in the center. It breaks into 2 pieces, and then the glass falls to the ground. The creature that was in it, it looks like a fox, but about the size of the palm of your hand, and a green that fades and glows, leaves a bit of an after image as it squirms around, and it runs to your leg, Jaws. But the lady from before, she turns around at the breaking glass, and she walks over to you, arm raised, like she's going to slap you.
No one hits my Joslynn.
I'm just expecting it.
I growl loudly and run at her and try to jump on her back. I don't know. I got an 8, so that's a pass. So I'm just scratching and trying to get my hands around her neck.
Troublesome girl!
I snap out of my rage and realise how risky this behaviour is to this well-armed woman.
Yeah.
And I jump off and run over and stand in front of Joslynn and snarl at her.
When I see her do that, I shout out, Joslynn, Ellie, I need your help. Can you get the feather lizard over here?
She exhales, she's calming herself, she's fixing her hair a bit, and she says, "Your name?"
My name is Sam.
Lady Cine. And these two troublesome girls? I wish not to encounter these two again. Good day. And she turns with those two boys, one now no longer holding that jar, and she says, "Where's the wretched inn of Norfer?" And they're heading out. So Sam, you are successful using survival skills to bring back that field-dressed body of the cat bear. So we get the shot back of that familiar log cabin where the younger girl that looks a bit like you, who had been tanning earlier, sees you approaching, and a couple other figures appear nearby, and she's calling out to you, and then sees what you're carrying, that giant thing being dragged along and mouth hanging down.
I ruffle her hair a bit. So, you've got a big job ahead of you. I'll probably let her off the hook after a bit of work, but...
Ellie, do you want to wrap up the herb business with the miller's daughter?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
The miller's daughter, Llewellyn. The sisters have set up the most comfortable bed for her, and there's the bucket next to her, and you know that's where she's been retching into since the morning.
I go over to the fireplace, heat up some water, add the gin gold, let it come to the boil. I take it off the heat and let it sit there for a little bit.
And while you do that, the sisters, they're all a bit younger, asking about, what you did in the forest.
Yes, we went into the forest and we came across a cat there.
And the youngest one of them, she asks you to make the noise that the cat bear makes.
Oh, I kind of made this rawr, rawr, rawr. Scarier. Because I'm not, I'm pretty scary, but I'm not that scary.
Llewellyn sits up enough to hold that warm brew in her hands, and she's sipping that, and she already, the colors kind of come back to her face, and she's smiling at you, and she turns to the younger sister. She says, "Get it from the drawer for her." And the little one runs to the drawer and pulls out this wrapped bundle about as big as your hand or so and presents it to you. And it's this bundle of colored wax sticks. They look a lot like the charcoal that you would draw with, but these are actually colors. Colors that have dyes that you haven't seen before. Llewellyn says, "A merchant came in last week and I thought of you with these. Thank you. I know you don't love my brother yet, but we would like to have you part of our family."
I'm backing away slowly towards the door. I love you guys. You're like sisters to me already. I need to go be somewhere else. Bye. You hear an occasional nope, 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 nope.
Joslynn, what do you spend the rest of the day doing until night?
I go straight to work. I gotta get the rooms ready, and when it's time to serve dinner.
Let's cut forward to the Suppertime then. It's a family meal plus 4 or so guests. So when you walk through the door, you see the masked expression on Lady Cine's face. She knows exactly who you are. Serving girl. My cup is empty.
Without a word, I just fill her drink.
From the little snippets of conversation you pick up, they talk about the city-state to the south where they came from, and they talk about the reason why they're going to leave a sack of coins behind. They're simply visiting the villages in the area because of a certain artifact that was stolen. It's a piece of marble from a statue to the south, and the city-state has been looking for it because it's a historical artifact. They know that with some coinage left behind, that the innkeep will keep eyes and ears open to report if that is found. Sam, did you ever disclose finding that weird statue thing to Joslynn?
I've showed it to you once before.
Well,
Yeah.
anyone who walks into your house would probably see it on your shelf, right?
Yeah, well, I've showed it to you guys and I talked about the ruins I found one day.
Yeah, right. I'm like, wow, this must be kind of a big deal. And so suddenly, my curiosity is piqued. So, Lady Cine, what is this artifact? Is it magical?
Let's do a charisma reaction check on that. So we specifically have a penalty on here of attempting to parlay with known enemies.
Well,
Look at that.
a 1 always succeeds.
The lady takes her time to chew delicately and then looks to your parents and says, "A terribly inquisitive daughter that you have." Your name, lass, seeing as we have just met?
My name is Joslynn, my lady.
Joslynn, I will never forget the name. Malthus of the city-state, a name of which all should be familiar with. The rumors of him are not true. Some call him horrible names as the Demon Prince and whatnot. Malthus has put a price on restoring this historical artifact of the pagoda to the south. At the edge of the forest, this temple was once of spiritual importance, and in a land of chaos and beasts and forest spirits that wreak mayhem, we need spiritual places for order. Perhaps we'll wrap up the session rather than set things up in the evening.
Yeah. I want to make the most of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Joslynn was distant coming back, knowing that she's going to have to engage these soldiers again, mainly for the sake of her parents, right?
Yeah.
She knows that she has to really just push down inside her all of what happened out there. As the night unfolded, I think that just drained away all of her annoyance, because now this is a mystery. This is like fun.
Yeah, it's the moment where we go full Goonies, where the kids all find the treasure map.
I really loved it when Joslynn smashed the jar. That was so good. Yeah, and then I really liked how Sam came in and was like, "Settle it down, people. I'm going to take control of the situation."
So Saffire, for Ellie, like, what was sort of the day for her?
The start of the day was great. Yeah. Until the whole, "we have intentions to marry you off to our brother" thing. Yeah, definitely is not interested in being married off to anybody. The older witch isn't married. Her grandmother isn't married. I mean, her mother got married, but she didn't think she'd get married. Like, she hasn't thought about marriage. She doesn't think about boys. Like, it's not a thing.
If only the witch was around to either step into this situation or give you some counseling or something on it,
I know, right? I think, Ellie's got a lot going through her mind at the moment.
Tora, what's been going on with Sam's... I don't know. He seems like such a simple man, but I know something's going on deep down there.
The biggest thing is guilt for his recklessness.
Mm-hmm.
Taking this thing head on was a very stupid thing to do, and being very bad for putting everyone else at risk. I'm very interested in this whole conflict between Sam taking down animals as a hunter. This is his profession. He's a trapper. He kills animals for his...
But I mean, you got Ku back, and we'll make sure to include a little bit about RC having Ku again, and the thanks for that. So thank you, everyone. This is Pocket Sized Play. You can check in with us at twitter.com/pocketsizedplay. You can also head on over to the Gauntlet gaming community at gauntlet-rpg.com to check out our stuff, but also the other podcasts. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I just rolled a d20 so that I could say I rolled something today.
Oh.